1934, the middle of the Dust Bowl years. FDR signed the visionary Federal Credit Union Act. A year later, with $50, 10 members, and 1 employee, came the Albuquerque, U.S. Employees Federal Credit Union, the first in New Mexico. The next 5 years, Santa Fe saw its first super chief train. Jesse Owens single-handedly served vulnerability to the invincible. The Golden Gate Bridge felt its first tires cross, and the Hoover Dam held its own. By 1940, there were over 3,700 credit unions in the U.S. The People Helping People movement was gathering steam. We went through some tough times, but we got through them together. The 1950s. The new nationwide network of highways led families on pilgrimages of discovery. The King made teenage hearts flutter and their parents' hearts stop. Sputnik's beeps shook the world. 30-year fixed-rate mortgages were the new thing. Around 4% interest on an average home price of $15,000. And a little credit union you may know had grown to $385,000 in assets, 520 members, and doubled its number of employees to 2.
Good evening. This is Walter Cronkite at CBS News headquarters.
The 1960s started cold. We held a collective breath. There was change in the air, some of it for good, and some heartbreaking. But we endured and scaled incredible new heights. And we did it again, together. Truth in lending became a law, and with it, the now very familiar annual percentage rate. Meanwhile, in Albuquerque, your credit union continued to grow. 770,000 in assets, 1,500 members strong, and we again doubled our number of employees. It was the 70s. The NCUA was born as an independent agency. The dollar's convertibility to gold ended. Vietnam was the sobering first reality TV. But the show finally ended in the 70s, too. Together, we saw the birth of the microprocessor, a country of now over 200 million, celebrating its bicentennial. We made friends with the angry red planet. Here at home, the Gold Branch opens and a new era of leadership begins for your now $6.2 million credit union, but with a limit of withdrawing only $300, about $2,500 in today's money. The 1980s brought many new offerings and the growth years. We saw our first acquisition and an expanding branch network. We were the first credit union in the state to offer a credit card, new share certificates, home equity lines of credit, bank by phone, ATMs, and more. All now available at your $16.9 million credit union. Along the way, we saw the fall of the wall, personal computers, the internet, the dawn of a new space era, renting movies at a store, and who could forget the rad hairstyles? The 1990s were an economic boom time. We grew our branch network to make member convenience king. At over $100 million in assets, it was time for a facelift. U.S. New Mexico Federal Credit Union. A new financial planning program to help members make their money work harder. A new auto loan at 7.1%. The introduction of indirect auto lending and a new fixed-rate mortgage program. Welcome to Y2K. Now with over $264 million in assets and nearly 35,000 members, our cooperative model allowed us to reinvest where it's always counted most, in our membership. The introduction of youth and adult financial literacy programs, a 5th branch, member incentive programs to make the most of your hard-earned money, commercial lending services to strengthen local business, local first sponsorships and support, the convenience of shared branching, and even greater service accessibility. And our history is just the beginning for your credit union. More branches and even better technology for even greater convenience. More support for members of modest means and for the next generation. Vision for the 21st century, for what we are today and what will be tomorrow as a $1.5 billion credit union. And what will tomorrow bring? They are chapters of a story yet to be written. We'll write them just as we wrote the previous chapters of our story, together. But this much will always be true, my friends. Our story will always be about you. Welcome to U.S. Eagle's 90th anniversary annual meeting.
Wow, that was a great video. Thank you. Let's give it an applause for our marketing. So good evening. Welcome. Thank you for attending this year's annual meeting. I'm Nancy Haynes, first Vice Chair of the Board of Directors, and I will guide us through the agenda tonight. Our chair, Kevin McMahon, is joining us remotely and will deliver the message from the chair shortly. A quorum is present and the meeting is hereby called to order. With me tonight, starting from my left, is Justin Spreen. Sorry, Justin. Our parliamentarian here. Here. Say here. Lori Kraft, Supervisory Committee Chair. Brock Carter, Director. Marcia Majors, President and CEO. And to my right, Reese Gately, Treasurer. Pamela Herndon, Second Vice Chair. Mary Homan, Secretary. Tasman Ralph, Director. And Katrina Sweetland, Board Associate. I would also like to take this opportunity to recognize in our audience who has served or is serving in any of our military branches or is a first responder. Please stand so that we can show our appreciation for your service. Okay. The agenda for our meeting tonight is the standard format for credit union annual meetings as set forth by the NCUA. The next item of business is the reading of minutes of last year's annual meeting held May 1st, 2024. The minutes of the annual meeting were approved by the Board of Directors at its regular meeting on May 17th, 2024, and therefore do not have to be approved in this meeting. So do we suspend the reading of the minutes? Do we have a motion? Here, a second? Okay, those in favor, please say yay. Yay. Those opposed, no? All right. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the message from the chair. This is Kevin McMahon, our chair.
Good evening. Hoping you can hear me. Can you hear me out there? Hello?
Yes, they
Thank you.
can hear you.
I'm told you can hear me. So, first of all, I want to say good evening to all the board members, distinguished guests, and valued colleagues. And I want to say I'm sorry that I'm not able to be there with you all tonight. I'll begin by saying it's a privilege to speak with you tonight as chairman of the board of U.S. Eagle Federal Credit Union. I'm honored to serve in this role and deeply grateful for the trust and responsibility that comes with it. Each time we come together, I'm reminded of the incredible strength and purpose behind our credit union, our shared mission, our community, and our unwavering commitment to service. First, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation to the members of this board. Your leadership, insight, and dedication have helped guide us through a time of opportunity, transformation, and some degree of challenge. Also, for the last 90 years, U.S. Eagle has continued to build on its legacy while positioning ourselves for a dynamic and resilient future. I wish to celebrate and give credit to all those who have served before me. Their leadership and strategic directions have enabled me, the board of directors, and the credit union to stand firmly where we are now. Over the past year, we've made significant progress in advancing our mission, that mission of empowering our members and uplifting our communities. Through sound financial management, innovative services, and an unrelenting focus on member needs, we've demonstrated what it means to be a trusted financial partner. Among the most exciting developments is the announcement of our intent to acquire Southwest Capital Bank. This acquisition represents a major step forward in our growth strategy and enhances our ability to better serve communities throughout New Mexico, especially northern New Mexico. Alongside this, we're proud that the NCUA has approved our application to expand our underserved area field of membership. And with this approval, we can now extend our services to residents in Las Vegas, Mora, and Pecos, furthering our commitment to accessibility and economic empowerment, particularly for individuals and families of modest means. However, 2024 did present challenges that affected our financials. A few United States Department of Agriculture and Small Business Administration commercial loans deteriorated and adversely affected our net income. However, despite these setbacks, your credit union remains financially very strong. And I'm confident in our resilience and our team's ability to manage this situation as we move on. As we continue to grow and evolve, our vision remains the same and grounded with our approach that focuses on 5 areas. Area number 1, and absolutely the most important, our members are at the core of every decision we make. We ended 2024 with more than $1.47 billion in assets. This is a reflection of the trust our members place in us and the strength of our financial stewardship. Number 2, empowering through volunteerism. Volunteerism is central to who we are. Since launching our Volunteer of the Year program and our Volunteer of the Month programs in 2022, we've awarded 37 outstanding volunteers, each receiving a $1,000 donation to a charity of their choice. Tonight, you'll hear from Pamela Herndon, who is on the board of directors, second vice chair, and she is also chair of the Volunteer Development Committee. You'll hear about the many ways that you can engage and give back to our communities through your credit union. Number 3, leading with technology. Innovation is essential to our long-term success. In 2024, we rolled out a new credit card platform that brought enhanced features and benefits to our members. We also completed our first full year with our new member tools called Savvy Money. Number 4, investing in our communities. We remain deeply committed to the communities we serve. Through partnerships and outreach, we promote financial literacy, support local initiatives, and expand access to services. Last year alone, we were able to help over 1,300 individuals at nearly 50 financial wellness events. Our Community Action Advisory Committee plays a vital role in this mission, advising the board and providing you, the members, the opportunity to engage directly in our community work. And finally, number 5, strengthening governance. Trust is earned through transparency and accountability. We are committed to upholding the highest standards of governance, fostering collaboration between the board, leadership, and staff. We continue to lead and manage with integrity. Through this approach, or through these approaches, and with the continued support of our members, volunteers, and leadership, I'm confident that we will be well positioned for even greater impact in this year ahead. I want to thank all of you for your unwavering support, your dedication, and your belief in the work we do together. The future remains as bright as it ever has been in the last 90 years or the next 90 years. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our President and Chief Executive Officer, Marcia Majors. By the way, Marcia, those are some great pictures on the video of you a few years ago. Your smile hasn't changed. Marcia provides leadership and continues to inspire and drive our vision forward. Marcia?
Thank you, Kevin. Good evening and welcome to our 89th annual meeting. It's hard to imagine your credit union has been helping people make better decisions about their money since 1935. This year, we're celebrating our 90th anniversary, and we commemorate that today with the coin that you received at the entry, and we acknowledge the longstanding value to our members and our community. This credit union was founded in 1935 as Albuquerque U.S. Employees Federal Credit Union, making us the oldest credit union in the state. The 10 founders stepped forward to address the need within our community and created a safe place to pool finances and provide low-cost loans for federal employees. Our membership expanded beyond Albuquerque, and in 1990, the credit union's name was changed to U.S. New Mexico Federal Credit Union to reflect that. As we grew across New Mexico, our name changed once again to U.S. Eagle Federal Credit Union, the name which you, our members, helped us select in 2015 to better capture the expanded geographic area served by the credit union. This past year, we loaned nearly $350 million to members and businesses in support of our communities. Additionally, we strengthened our internal technology to streamline processes and enhance communication within our teams. By leveraging technology to simplify workflow and make it easier for our team to complete transactions and initiatives, we can better focus on improving response times and delivering a smoother experience for you. By not charging fees for non-sufficient funds and overdraft accounts for what would have amounted to an average of $3 million a year, we continue to help our most vulnerable members. And with the recent uncertainty in some job sectors, I want to reassure everyone that U.S. Eagle is here for our members, and we will continue to provide the financial services that you need. U.S. Eagle is your credit union, and your financial well-being is why we exist. As Kevin mentioned, and you will see in our financials for 2024, they presented some challenges that resulted from the involvement in USDA and SBA participation loans that we entered into in 2017. These type of loans combine funding from several financial institutions to reduce the risk of a large investment to any one lender. While these loans proved profitable for the first few years, more than $40 million of profitability, the economy instability in 2021 through 2023 came to bear in 2024 as a few of these loans began experiencing loan quality deterioration. We learned from the situation and have adjusted our commercial lending strategy to minimize our risk in the future. At the end of 2024, U.S. Eagle's net worth ratio stood at 10.5%, which is well above the 7% that is considered well capitalized for strong credit unions. This strength provides, you're going a little too fast for me, thank you. This strength provides sustainability for us to endure these types of challenges. Last year, we announced an agreement to acquire Southwest Capital Bank. Since then, both financial institutions have submitted their respective applications to the National Credit Union Administration and the Federal Depository Insurance Corporation. These applications are in the review process and approvals are pending. The announcement of the acquisition of Southwest Capital Bank is an important and exciting milestone for our credit union, one that provides significant progress in many key areas, including community served, products and services, and mission alignment. We will keep you informed and pass along the details as they develop. Each year, members of the board and myself and other executives of the credit union visit our representatives in Washington, D.C. and Santa Fe to advocate for the livelihood of the credit union movement. Our mission on these trips is to encourage our representatives to support bills and have discussions with their peers that promote the value of credit unions. There are those, lobbyists and politicians, who would have our credit unions taxed at the same level as banks, which really means a new tax on you and others who choose a credit union as their financial partner. It's important that we keep you informed about the potential threats to your credit union and our ability to provide you with the best possible financial services. A couple of weeks ago, we sent emails asking that you help support the protections that credit unions have that are now in danger of losing. Credit unions do not pay federal income taxes on profits. Instead, we return those earnings to members in a variety of ways, including more affordable loans and better returns on savings. Driven by a people-first mission, credit unions step in where banks won't and provide needed services that make an impact on hardworking Americans' lives. And our members recognize the way credit unions treat them compared to banks. In the email that we sent, we ask you to go to don'ttaxmycreditunion.org, and many of you have taken advantage of that, and send a message to our legislators. Help us protect your credit union and the families across the country who rely on their credit unions too. Your voice is important. Nothing is more powerful to elected officials than when they hear from constituents like you. Please consider that request thoughtfully, as it will have an impact on all of us. I talked about this at last year's meeting, but I want to point out that we opened the much anticipated Herrera Isleta branch, named to honor our past board chair. This branch is serving members in the South Valley, and we're adding about 40 members, new members a month at that location. Through our Honor Your Foundation, grants and donations continue to fund good works in the communities we serve. In 2024, U.S. Eagle invested more than $175,000 into our communities through nonprofit organizations, as well as our own programs and initiatives. We love educators and the role they play in the next generation. And together, the Honor Your Foundation and U.S. Eagle created the Enrich Ed program to help students have access to the resources they need to thrive in school. In 2024, we gave out $20,000 in classroom grants to implement financial literacy curriculums, teach students how to create a budget, manage expenses, build savings, and more. Through our financial well-being campaign, we donated $37,000 to support the growth of financial literacy and well-being in our community through partnerships with Rio Grande Food Project and New Day. We have an amazing team that passionately serves, a team that takes pride in fostering a true credit union culture that impacts our community. U.S. Eagle employees pay it forward routinely by volunteering to fight food insecurity and through other giving programs. Activities include employee donations to United Way, participating in school supplies and clothing drives, raffle fundraisers, awareness walks, and more. I would like to thank all of our employees who donate their time and money to make our communities better. Our service to you, our members, is the highest of our priorities. We strive to provide you with the best products, services, and rates. We believe we are accomplishing that goal as your responses to our surveys regarding satisfaction continue to stay healthy at 96%. We present these surveys randomly. I urge everyone to take the survey and give us the honest feedback we need to serve you in the best ways possible. I want to again thank our staff who continue to work hard to help our members reach their goals. And again, thank you to the staff. And I'm grateful for the leadership of our dedicated board of directors and for all of the volunteers who support our mission. On behalf of myself and the entire U.S. Eagle staff, we thank you, our members, for your continued support and for your membership. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. Next on the agenda is the report of the treasurer. The 2024 consolidated statements of income show a net loss income of $2.1 million. The consolidated statements of financial condition and the consolidated statements of income are included in the 2024 annual report. You can also view the annual report on our website at useagle.org or pick up a copy at any branch. For comments about U.S. Eagle's financial performance in 2024, I will defer to Reese Gately, our treasurer. Reese, is there anything that you would like to add?
Thank you, Nancy. We got to do something about that picture. That ship has sailed a while ago. You've seen the results of the financial statements. We've said why. USDA SBA loans did not perform as we expected. This created a loss for 2024. This is not something that has been taken lightly or easily by the board or the management team. It's not a position that we're familiar with. It's not something that has happened to us, yet it is present before us. So what do? You step up to the plate, you look at the root cause, you accept responsibility, and you decide to move forward. We have taken a no stones untouched approach to dealing with the issues that cause this. Despite our best efforts, despite all of the efforts put into it, some decisions don't turn out the way that you want them to do, such as what happened. So what we've done, your board of directors, your management team, and NCUA are mutually agreeing and supportive of one another to address the root cause of these issues. We've already started. You'll note that in the financials that you got, were 1.5 billion, 1.47. Note that those financial statements were audited. Our audit firm is Moss Adams, a national firm with an extremely good reputation and one who is a value partner to us. Note that the opinion, the auditor's opinion, said that they have given an unqualified opinion to the financial statements. That's the highest level of assurance that they can give. We're thankful for their help and their support so that we could issue the financial statements so that you could see where we are by an external source. Lastly, none of this works without, from the finance side, without an extremely good finance committee, which I'm the chair and I'm thankful to be there. With the help of Marcia, Mike, and the finance and accounting team, which work extremely hard to put all of those numbers together that you see. There's mounds of data. They do an excellent job of putting that together so that we can fulfill our mission. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Thank you, Reese. Next on our agenda is the report of the Supervisory Committee. The report from our committee chair, Margaret Kraft, is included in the 2024 annual report. Your Supervisory Committee has worked hard all year protecting your credit union. They are, like your board of directors and all committees, volunteers. Thank you. Thank you. So next on the agenda is the unfinished business. A review of the minutes of last year's annual meeting shows no unfinished business. And next is new business. Other than the results of the election, there being no other new business, we will move directly to the results of the election. So our next item on the agenda is the election of directors. At this time, I would like to call Director Mary Homan, Chair of the Nominating Committee, to the podium to announce the results of the election for the Board of Directors. Mary?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. It's so nice to see such a full group here for this very important meeting. This year, there are 2 vacancies on the board. The nominating committee submitted 2 nominees to fill these vacancies. As directed by the bylaws, other candidates may be nominated by petition of the membership. However, the board did not receive any petitions for nomination from the membership. Also, per the bylaws, there will be no nominations from the floor. The 2 nominees submitted by the nominating committee are Tasman Ralph, if you'll raise your hand and wave at everybody again, and Pamela Herndon. Since there are only 1 nominee for each vacancy, I will entertain a motion to elect the 2 board candidates by acclamation. Is there a motion? Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. There has been a motion and a second to elect the 2 board candidates. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed should say nay. Hearing none, the motion carries. Please join me in congratulating our re-elected directors.
Thank you, Mary, and congratulations to Pamela and Tess. Very, very excellent board members. Okay, at this time, I would like to invite our second vice chair and board of directors and chair of the Volunteer Development Committee, Pamela Herndon, to the stage.
Thank you, Nancy. Good evening. At U.S. Eagle Federal Credit Union, you've already heard that volunteerism is something that we are very, very passionate about. The purpose of the Volunteer Development Committee is to recruit volunteers who are members of the credit union to help improve members' experiences by presenting innovative ideas and concepts for programs. Your ideas and concepts help amplify the credit union motto of people helping people. And I'm inviting each of you to become a volunteer with the credit union. How many are you going to do that tonight? Okay, I see. Oh, I see some hands. You will have several committees to choose from as you enhance your member experience. You may choose to join the governance, bylaws, finance, or the volunteer development committee. If you are a student in high school or college and you are between the ages of 16 and 22, you are invited to be a volunteer with the credit union by joining the Junior Board of Directors. As a member of the Junior Board, you will gain skills and knowledge that will help you in developing your leadership style, understanding the importance of community outreach, and learning the principles of financial literacy. We invite you to join the only junior board of directors that is housed in a billion-dollar credit union in the entire United States. So that is something really to be proud of here. Our junior board gives our high school and college members the opportunity to connect with other aspiring young leaders, network with seasoned board members, and develop your communication skills. In addition, as a junior board of director, you may earn school credit for your active participation in this program. And if that's not enough, let me tell you, you may also qualify to receive a $500 stipend for each year that you are an active member of the Junior Board of Directors. So the volunteer committees meet once a month. We ask for a one-year commitment to the committee that you join and make a difference in U.S. Eagle Federal Credit Union. Become a volunteer. So I'm going to be outside that door a little bit later on tonight waiting to sign up lots and lots of people. You may obtain a volunteer application on the website at useagle.org. There is room for every volunteer. And guess what? We want to hear from you. So let me tell you about something else that we do at the Volunteer Development Committee. One of the exciting responsibilities of the Volunteer Development Committee is having the opportunity to recognize the U.S. Eagle Volunteer of the Year and surprising them with the honor at the annual meeting. We are proud of the many exceptional members who have graciously volunteered their time with the credit union, making sure that U.S. Eagle stays focused on developing and implementing policies in the best interests of our members and giving their time and effort to the communities in which we all live to make it a better place for all of us. Volunteers drive the credit union mission of people helping people and U.S. Eagle's brand promised of people meaning more. This year, we proudly honor someone who was instrumental in the continued success of the Supervisory Committee by sharing her knowledge and skills and auditing in audit report writing, in risk identification and remediation and oversight responsibilities. Her commitment to volunteering stemmed from her belief in supporting her community, and her contributions have been vital in recruiting and effectively utilizing volunteers at the credit union. Her expertise and passion for financial education and have had a significant impact on U.S. Eagles members and their financial goals. She is a certified public accountant, a certified fraud examiner, a certified internal auditor, and was an outstanding volunteer for U.S. Eagle, contributing her expertise in accounting, fraud, and auditing. With a strong work ethic and a positive attitude, she has seamlessly integrated into various roles throughout her career, bringing her extensive knowledge and skills to U.S. Eagle. She worked in auditing and accounting for over 29 years in positions such as the Senior Auditor, Audit Services for P&M Resources, the Internal Auditor 3 at the University of New Mexico's Internal Audit Department, Forensic Auditor for the Medicaid Fraud and Elder Abuse Division, and at the New Mexico Attorney General's Office, and the Budget Auditor in the Internal Audit and Investigations Department for the City of Albuquerque. This is one amazing woman. And tonight we honor this exceptional member as our 2025 Volunteer of the Year. Although she may be retiring her position as a volunteer, it is not happening without leaving a legacy that will be indelibly planted as a part of history of U.S. Eagle Federal Credit Union. And it is with great pride and honor that I introduce you to the U.S. Eagle 2025 Volunteer of the Year. Her name is Lola Neudecker. Lola, you see her picture on the screen. Now, Lola did not know she was getting this honor tonight, and guess what? Lola's not here. But we have this wonderful service award that we're going to give Lola. But fear not, we're going to find a way for all of you to meet Lola in person because she is exceptional. So with that, I'm going to call Nancy back to the stage, and thank you.
Thank you, Pamela. Pamela has an incredible talent of keeping the energy levels high in this room. Okay, our next item on the agenda is the 2025 scholarship announcement. Each year, U.S. Eagle provides scholarships to students from New Mexico who are in or entering college. We have expanded the amount we are giving out, and there will now be 2 winners from each scholarship category. The 2025 application period is open from now until September 30th. Okay, so next on the agenda is the presentation of the John R. Thompson Excellence in Service Award given annually to an outstanding employee or employees. Every year, the chair of the board of directors is charged with selecting an employee or employees that are recommended by their staff managers as being helpful, kind, and sincere towards all members and coworkers, who is great at their job, who is eager to learn new skills, who is a caring community citizen, and who is a role model for all employees. This year's nominees are, and please forgive me if I do not pronounce your name correctly. The first one is Anthony Humatewa, Christine Apodaca, Dolores Marquez, Yvonne Lopez, Jacqueline Vigil, Jen Nesh, J.V. Zamora, Mindy Bach, Taylor Fewa, Antonia Litherland. It's quite a group. I am pleased to announce the winner of this year's John R. Thompson Excellence in Service Award. Our first recipient is Dolores Marquez. Dolores, would you like to come up here? Sorry, Dolores, I should be out there. There you are. And we have something else for you. Alyssa? There you go. Thank you for all you do. Let me tell you a little bit about Dolores. She's been instrumental in U.S. Eagle's market expansion, helping establish and strengthen partnerships with over 200 dealers across Colorado and West Texas. As one of the first to champion this initiative, she played a key role in onboarding and building trust with new partners, directly contributing to our growth and ability to serve more members. Dolores also brings a strong spirit of collaboration to her work with the underwriting team, leading monthly meetings and training sessions to help her teammates better understand exception reporting and how it affects the loan portfolio. Beyond her professional contributions, Dolores is deeply committed to our mission that people mean more. She regularly volunteers in the community through Meals on Wheels and financial literacy classes. She never misses a chance to support causes that make a difference. Her sincerity, willingness to go above and beyond, and dedication to both our members and her colleagues make her an invaluable part of the U.S. Eagle family. Congratulations, Dolores. Okay, our second recipient is Jacqueline Vigil. Jacqueline is unable to attend the meeting in person tonight, but she is joining us virtually. She has been a driving force behind the success of U.S. Eagle's cannabis banking program since the very beginning. As the first private banker in the Erie Group, she played a key role in building the portfolio from the ground up, growing it to serve 175 members today. Her dedication and expertise have earned her 2 promotions in the past 2 years, most recently to Assistant Vice President. Jacqueline leads her team through the complexities of a highly regulated environment with clarity and confidence, all while maintaining a strong focus on safety, soundness, and continuous improvement. Thanks to her leadership, the Erie Group has completed 2 NCUA exams with no findings, and she encourages her team to keep learning and growing through certification and training. Beyond her day-to-day role, Jacqueline is an active leader in our community and throughout U.S. Eagle. She currently chairs both the flight crew and the scholarship committee and has spent years volunteering and reviewing donation requests. She's also passionate about anti-bullying efforts and is well known in the committee for her advocacy in that space. Jacqueline's integrity, passion for service, and commitment to excellence make her a true role model and an invaluable part of the U.S. Eagle family. Congratulations, Jacqueline. Our third and final recipient is Jen Nish. Jen? Surprise. Congratulations, Jen. Thank you so much. So let me tell you about Jen. Jen has made a lasting impact through her fresh approach to learning and development and her ability to build strong, trusting relationships across the organization. She's helped uncover the important gaps in training, communication, and content delivery, then worked with her team to close those gaps with care and creativity. Jen constantly earns top marks on SOUL surveys, with feedback often highlighting her kindness, attention to detail, and gift for creating a collaborative, supportive environment. Outside of her core role, Jen leads one of our most popular employee resource groups, the Craft Collective, taking charge of everything from planning and promotion to supplies and snacks. Her leadership has helped create an engaging and inclusive space for employees to connect through creativity. Beyond work, Jen's heart for service extends to her deep love of animals. She has rescued several dogs and regularly volunteers her time, transporting animals to safe, loving homes across the state and beyond. Jen's compassion and commitment shine through in everything she does, making her a valued and inspiring part of the U.S. Eagle team. Congratulations to our recipients for receiving this prestigious award and all the employees that were nominated for your dedication and hard work. We have some awesome employees, just saying. Next on the agenda is questions from members. During the registration process for this meeting, members were asked to submit questions to our board and executive team. We would like to provide you with those answers now. Please join me in welcoming our Chief Digital Officer, Steve Schreiner.
Hey, thank you. And thank you for the questions that were submitted. Very much appreciated. So we've got about 12 that were submitted, and I wanted to mention that we're also leaving the portal open so that you will have the ability to submit a question if you didn't get one answered today. Okay. So the first one is, a branch in Valencia County ever going to happen? We do a regular branch location assessment to help US Eagle build in areas that will offer convenience and services to as many members as possible. We do not currently have a timeline for a Valencia branch, however. The second question that I have is actually a two-part. The credit union's name was changed from US New Mexico to US Eagle. Has the dollar investment been recovered? That's the first portion of the question. And the answer is yes, the dollar investment in the name change has been recovered. And in addition, a portion of our growth since 2015 is attributed to the actual name change. And the second portion of the question is, I have been a member since 1984. Thank you for your membership. And the question of a Los Lunas or Belen office has been requested. Will this ever happen? I'm going to refer to the answer to the first question on that. We're always assessing, so I don't have a timeline for you. Third question, will US Eagle be interested in investing in more charter schools in the Albuquerque metropolitan area? I'm going to ask that you allow me to contact you directly, because our Arnia Foundation, the charitable arm of US Eagle, actively pursues community investment opportunities. So I'll pass that information along. And I do have contact information for each of the folks that submitted these questions. Number 4 is a long one. So what I will say is that it involves transactional information. So I will not be reading it out loud, but I will say that it has to do with a credit card situation. I have taken that information and the contact information for the individual, and I have passed it along to our credit card manager and that department. So they will be reaching out to you to take care of the issue that you got. Okay, what are we on? Number 5 here. So for the past years, interest rates have been high, and granted, US Eagle has raised rates tied to savings and money market accounts, which US Eagle calls Investment Plus. Thank you for knowing your products, by the way. There are a handful of CUs in the metro area that offer much higher rates for MMAs, money market, as compared as compared to US Eagle. As an example, Sandia area and also New Senda. We don't like to mention other credit union names. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so other credit unions at different rates. So the best way that I can answer that is we do a regular analysis of all the credit union area and the space in Albuquerque. And we try to find competitive rates for both deposit and loan products. I think we can have, yes, ma'am. Perks. Yeah, it's not one. We do offer, I will point out what Marcia was mentioning. We do offer a mem perks. So the relationship that you have, yes, sir, I know it's not available on money market. So I'm going to assume that the question was yours. Appreciate that. Very much appreciate that. I tell you what, let me hand you a card before you leave today so that we can have a further conversation. There's different opportunities that we might be able to offer. Okay. Thank you for the question, though. It's a good question. Okay, what are the plans for growth for the next 3 years? The credit union strategic planning begins this month. Coincidentally, top of mind is marketing and branch expansion, farming in Durango specifically, leveraging the opportunities from the bank acquisition, community involvement that is expected to drive member acquisitions and retention, and enhancing digital capabilities. Next question we have on the list is, what are we doing to prevent federal merger of credit unions with banks? How do we as credit unions retain our identity of people helping people? So the management at US Eagle, we closely monitor the things that are happening at the federal level. Currently, conversations have centered around combining efforts of the FDIC and the NCUA. There's also conversation around taxing credit unions. You heard earlier from Marcia on ways that we can participate in helping to stop that. But I would also say that there's efforts underway to provide legislators with our opinions, and credit union members have the opportunity to participate. So I'll echo what Marcia already said. It's actually an acquisition. So it would be an acquisition of the bank, and they would become part of US Eagle Federal Credit Union. They're going to be a credit union. We are acquiring them, yes. Okay. It's another great question. So thank you. We have one that I'm unable to answer, but I have the contact information, and it refers to a specific account. So what I have done is pass that on to our vice president of branch operations, and they will be in contact with you. We have another question here. Well, with what's happening in the White House and reckless decisions being made, I am concerned about my money and as well as NCUA insurance, if they will take that away, NCUA insurance. I think efforts again are at the federal level. We're watching them. There's always in flux, and whatever administration is in place, this doesn't change. What we do know is that the conversation that surrounds NCUA's insurance is really not something that seems to be a problem. If there is an opportunity or if something does change at the federal level where there's one governing entity, the insurance for accounts is still there. Is US Eagle interested in the satisfaction of its members, and are they really interested in numbers? You saw from Marcia's presentation that we very much take member experience at heart. We plan our strategies around that, and hopefully that answers the question in this particular case. Let's see, I've got two more, I think. I've got one that says that again is a specific conversation about a specific account issue, so I cannot discuss that while up here, but I do have contact information, so we will be reaching out. And then the last question that I have on this list is, would like to see the CD percentage to be a bit higher. Thank you. That's all we have time for. Again, I'm going to point to the regular meetings that we have internally. We do try to stay competitive with those. I will say also that with MemPerks, we do have an opportunity for CDs to be able to be increased to a higher percentage. So those are all things that we can definitely have conversations with you at the financial consultant. So that's the questions that we had. I mentioned that the portal is still open, so you will have opportunity to submit more, and we will reach out to you individually for those folks that I couldn't speak to directly on this. Okay, thank you. Oh, do we have one here? Oh, are we actually done? Okay, so I have a little bit of misinformation. So we have some microphones that are available. Thanks, guys. If you have a question, raise your hand and we'll get a microphone over to you and you can ask it directly. We've got one in the back.
Hi. This working? Yep.
Yes.
It is. Several questions. Two are generated by our annual report. The first one was, how did we recoup the money from the name change? I'll let you get into that because I'm the one who asked that.
Mhm.
The other thing was the Osuna location isn't on the back. So we canceled that as an actual branch and built one on Academy. I mean, I guess you don't know me, but I'm a retired federal criminal investigator. I've done more IG audit and criminal investigations I got to think about. So when you're talking about how money spent and where it went and where it didn't go, I've seen more fraud than I care to think about, but more waste and abuse than I want to discuss. So when I see that the Osuna office isn't on the back because we stopped using that as a member location, what are we doing with the building? And why take away the downstairs when we're using it as a branch and waste money, in my opinion, to build a location on Academy? And finally, the audit report, which I'd love to see the backup information, because how come something as simple as operations went up $4 million, education promotion, professional and outside services went up $1.1 million, and we lost $2.1 million. So what was this money spent on that makes it a valuable asset to us as members? And finally, the last question is, this is the smallest meeting I've ever seen for a credit union in the 40 plus years I've been a member, which makes me concerned that less members are coming out to want to know what's going on. Yet our membership has increased drastically since I became a member in 1984. So there's my 4 or 5 questions. If you want to talk to me personally, I'll make myself available.
I think we can do that. I don't know that I'm the best person to answer all of those questions, but I'm certainly sure that we can reach out to you. I will. Okay, we had another one up front, I believe. Yes.
So I've been a member for over 30 years. COVID's been over for many years. I was on the phone yesterday for almost 20 minutes before someone was able to help me. So I don't understand why we still have so many people working remotely, why we're so grossly understaffed to be able to support members when we're calling in for information. I think it's totally unacceptable.
I'm happy to respond to that. I think that it's probably not a typical experience right now. I
It is
understand.
typical. It's happened to me at least a dozen times.
So let's have some conversation afterwards, and I'll be happy to share my contact information with you as well. I'm gonna give out a lot of cards tonight. I can understand. Where else?
Some of the branches are not as busy as others. And I haven't had that problem with the branch that I go to.
Mhm.
When I call them, they seem to answer pretty quickly. It may not have been 20 minutes, but it might have been, I might have waited maybe 4 or 5 minutes. So at this point, I don't know if he has the busiest branch around. That could be. Another comment on the academy. That wasn't really designed properly. I have had a hard time getting in and out of it. I don't like the way the cars go in. I don't like the parking lot. I just don't go to that one. I used to go to the Suna one, but now I go somewhere else. So that's my only comment there. I think it wasn't really designed, in my feelings, friendly to me and maybe other members.
It's good feedback. Thank you. Do we have some others? We got another one over here. Yes. Okay. That's our direct line.
The call center. Okay.
Other questions? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Steve. First, I'd like to acknowledge our marketing and the Explora team who were instrumental in producing this annual meeting. Let's just give them a hand. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have now completed our business agenda. And is there any further business to come before the meeting? And there being no further business, I declare the business portion of the meeting adjourned. Thank you all for attending this year's annual meeting. Now, our board members will now be stepping away to conduct additional official business. And I wanted you to know that because you've seen us just kind of disappear, thinking maybe we're going home, but no, we are conducting more official business. So we hope you stay, enjoy the evening, and invite you to stay for the food and the prizes, the highlight of today's meeting. We thank you for coming, and hopefully we will see you next year. Thank you.